Hey everybody, in this next video, I not only go to the hospital, I gotta see a heart doctor, I gotta see a cardiologist, and let him run through and do a bunch of tests on the old ticker. What's that gonna cost? Let's go over it, okay? So, today I'm gonna take you through what happened to me at the cardiologist because of a previous heart condition that I had to get the checkup. What does it cost to go see a specialist here in Pogradec? Let's find out together. Hope you enjoy the video. Family and friends, welcome back to the channel, my beloved alley cats. Today we're going to talk about medical. We've got a lot of questions on it. What kind of insurance do I have and so forth? Do you really need insurance? What's the medical cost like here in Albania? So we're going to go over that. Besides physicals, I did have some skin cancer when I was much younger. Okay, so there was a spot on my nose and my wife was really nervous about it. This is when we were living in Toronto. And she really wanted me to see a dermatologist. And there are 3 American hospitals in Toronto. I always find it funny, the names of them. It's American Hospital number 1, American Hospital number 2, American Hospital number 3. So I went to American Hospital number 1, and I set up to see a specialist, a dermatologist. Okay, obviously everything's good, no problems. Okay, but the total cost out of pocket without touching insurance, $16 is what it came out to. Okay, this is last year. So just the other day, I decided to have another physical, but years ago, that's what I want to touch base with you guys on, something serious. Years ago, I had AFib. When I say years ago, just not too many years ago, but arterial fibrillation, which is one of the leading causes of stroke. What it is the upper chamber of your heart, instead of beating correctly and giving information to the lower chamber, was just kind of vibrating, okay? And what can happen is blood can, doesn't mean it will, but it can pool at the top of the heart. Okay, and if that clot lets go or the pool lets go, it can cause stroke. It's one of the leading causes of stroke. So I've had that before. And I had what was called an ablation surgery. Okay, so when they go in and they kick up your heart rate a little bit so they can see which nerves are misfiring and kill those nerves. So I had that done, and thank goodness the doctor, this is back in the States. So the doctor told me, you know, at first you're going to feel like I made it worse, but your body's got to pretty much rewire itself, okay? And he was right. I mean, after that, for a good month, you know, I was tired. I'd be out of breath when I shouldn't have been, but then it's all good. But here's the key. He did tell me there's a 20% chance that it can return, okay? Now, I did buy that heart rate monitor. You ever see the commercials where you can put your fingers on it? It can tell you if you have AFib. So I have that, and the doctor in the States said, good job, he knew I was going overseas, but occasionally see a cardiologist, okay? So I'm here now in Pogradec, and I was doing my physical, and it's been a while since I've seen a cardiologist, so I went in and I got the physical done. That the physical was 2,000 lek, what, $23, you know, to have a physical, but I wanted to see a heart doctor. So I asked the lady, I said, hey, I'm a cardiologist, a heart doctor. She goes, oh, okay. So I'm thinking, I got to set a reservation, you know, maybe 2 weeks to a month for me to, you know, finally see a guy. And she goes, no, come back here and sit in this chair. In Pogradec, they have multiple buildings for their hospital. So she said she's going to call the cardiologist and he's going to come over and see me. So I was like, all right, cool. So about 15, 20 minutes passed, and all of a sudden in comes the cardiologist, the actual specialist. What's this going to run me? Okay, so on Google Translate, his English was pretty good, but I still used Google Translate, and I said I had AFib, had the surgery done, but my doctor said to get checked on occasionally. So he goes, okay, very good. So they not only did an EKG on me, okay, they did 2 AKGs, and he wanted to study them and really went over them really well, you know, and that wasn't enough. Then what he wanted to do was a sonogram on my heart as well. So besides the EKG, they did a sonogram. He also wrote for me very detailed, like points, things that were gone over, and he made sure to tell me that any doctor will know what this is. In other words, it's not metric or anything. So any doctor, he told me, is going to understand exactly the procedure that he did to check on me. So we had this. 2 EKGs, and he gave me copies of them, okay? Plus a note I could take to any doctor in the world. I am fine. I do not have a repeat of AFib. But think about it. I saw a specialist, a cardiologist, okay, doing all those things for me. Guess what the out-of-pocket cost was? This is what I wanted to talk to you guys about. 3,000 lek. okay, which in today's dollar comes out to 36 bucks. So well worth it. So that's why a lot of people, I know a lot of expats that don't have insurance, but April and I do. We use Cigna. I get no kickbacks from these guys, okay? Cigna with a C. And the reason being, April and I like to travel, especially in the off season. Now, just because Albania is cheap, what happens if I'm going to former Czechoslovakia, Czech Republic is where we're going to be going to for Christmas. So as I visit these other nations, I want to make sure I have insurance because I don't know what the cost is of the other countries, especially in Western Europe. You know, that can be expensive. So that's why April and I have coverage through them. We pay $300 for both of us. Okay. The reason I went with Cigna, I was first on a traveler's insurance, but a buddy of mine who owns the Stefan Center, and he's been here since 1992. So he knows the ins and outs, and since he's in his 70s now, so he's used doctors many times. But he's like, no, that's what he uses, so that's what I jumped on. Okay. So I wanted to go over with you some costs, some do's and don'ts. There is an Albania insurance where they pay $50 a year. I don't know how good a coverage that is. And also you got to remember that's not going to give you coverage if you leave the country to go visit someplace. So I really wanted to touch base with you guys on some of the medical issues. So like I said, man, 2 EKGs, gives me copies of it. Got to see an actual cardiologist. He was so proud, and he should be proud. He was showing me all of his diplomas that he got, and he studied in France, is where he learned his medicine. Sonograms, you know what I mean? Really thorough checkup on my heart, okay? Everything's good. So I'm going to do that at least once a year. Being so affordable, I might do that twice a year. Because I asked him that, and he go, once a year, twice a year? He goes, up to you, up to you. And I said, okay, at least once a year I'm going to be doing that. So the medical over here is very affordable. It makes me angry because then I feel like I was getting ripped off in the U.S., man. Because U.S. medical is so expensive. And I hear people will tell me, well, the medical is so much better in America. That is true, okay? But there's so many times where people would not get themselves checked out for a problem because it's too expensive and they can't afford it. You know, so I wanted to share that with you. So some of the other joys of traveling, and you're going to find medical much cheaper throughout the world in many places, whether you're going to Southeast Asia or whatever. Okay, but I wanted to touch base with you on medical here in Pogradec that I have personally gone through. Okay, so I hope you find this video helpful. Remember, I love you guys, and we're looking forward to Halloween coming up to give out candy. Matter of fact, I hear an ambulance in the background right there. Hear that? That's an ambulance. Okay, so they do have services here. Okay, so I wanted to touch base. I get a lot of questions on that because a lot of us are retirees coming on, and as we get older, we're going to have some health issues. The other thing I could say about a hospital, April and I made sure to buy a place that is pretty close to a hospital, right in the main part of town, because as we age, we're going to probably be needing that. Okay, that's something else for you to think about. You know, pick a city or a town that's close enough to a good hospital. Okay. Remember, I love you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. And thank you very much for subscribing and liking the channel. I appreciate you. All my new subscribers, all my old subscribers, thank you. For anyone just watching, hope you hit that subscribe button. Okay. Love you guys. Talk to you later.